But let's say, I'm at an organization. I don't think that Kate's is right, but the management has decided that Kubernetes is the thing. And they have rolled in a team of consultants. Hey, maybe they're container heroes to get Kubernetes deployed in my organization. As an admin or an ops person, what concerns should I have about the long-term maintenance of that Kubernetes cluster after the consultants have pieced out?
It is absolutely something to consider and to be worried about. That's actually, not to, put the sales hat on, but that's a big part of what we do, which is, anyone can kind of come in and stand up a Kubernetes cluster. A lot of people talk to us when they've actually started doing that on their own, and then they start to run those issues of scaling it across teams, of making sure it works, and like, oh crap, like this is actually, there's a lot to it. What do we do? More specifically, like what's the best way to do it, for us, right? That's when you bring in consultants. That's when you want that the people who have done it, hundreds and thousands of times to come in and give you their experience. But I think that key point is, for the teams that are there, one of the things we try and do is it's teaching, it's leveling up, it's kind of getting them that foundation to say it is totally different than what you're used to. It's a new thing. You have to start baking this into your day-to-day. You have to start baking this into your culture because everything is a little bit different now. And, there's some commitment on your part that says we're investing in this. We have to make it work. How do we train people? How do we level them up? And how do we make sure, they're being effective at what they do?
Yeah, and I think it's really important, like if an organization has decided they're going towards Kubernetes, whoever they intend to be managing it eventually, like whether consultants are coming in or not, like maybe not necessarily doing the CKA. If the organization wants to invest in their team members, fantastic, they should, but they should definitely get them some training, right? Like what helps us as a consultant day one is people having some knowledge about Kubernetes when we get there. If we're trying to teach and move stuff at the same time, it can be difficult. And also if people don't have a little bit of knowledge, they're less likely to push back on things, right? So like we might have an opinion on something, but we might not fully understand how their application works, how it's worked historically, and how it communicates with other things. So it's like if they have a little bit of knowledge, it can help us design a better system and better CI/CD, better way of breaking their applications down to run them in containers. If they have a little bit of knowledge, but like I was saying, like Rishi was saying, we do a lot of training, right? And like that is important because like one of the things that really starts to feel uncomfortable towards the end of a consult is when you're getting close to the day that you're going to leave and you don't necessarily have the confidence that the cluster is going to be in great shape a month from now, 2 months from now, right? So making sure that they have learned what they need to learn and know how to manage it going forward and can keep up on those maintenance tasks, like have an idea of, like running things like Kubernetes to make sure that, we haven't, done anything crazy on the cluster, changed any weird configuration and doing that periodically. Right. But that is one of the things that's like most terrifying when I leave is like, I hope nobody hurts themselves. Like, bye. Thanks for the check.
You were talking about training and said, well, not necessarily CKA, Certified Kubernetes Administrator training, because why? That might be overkill for some shops, or maybe something more particular to their environment is appropriate?
No, I don't have that certification. I mean, I've just spent a lot of time just reading the docs and playing with stuff and learning. So, I mean, I think it would be great if an org paid for somebody to go and get that. And that was something you're interested in doing. I know some people aren't great at testing. And I mean, I have an MCSE from like way back in 2000, and I took the routing test 4 times before I passed it. Right. So it's just like, people aren't great at tests. So it's like, to go get a certification, I know that makes some people nervous. And it's like, you can learn the same stuff by just sitting down and, your org giving you time to sit down and play, not sit down and play while working. Right.
Mm. I think a lot of that too is you can learn, be it on your own or be it through a certification. Again, all the like basics, all the knowledge about how to do something, but especially with things that are complex like Kubernetes, that stuff is actually the easy stuff. It's when something is going wrong in a weird way, as engineers, that's what kind of like what you get paid for, right? That debugging. Yep. And you just don't get that without doing it and without screwing something up and without trying to figure out why your pod is restarting 100 times because you screwed up, one tiny thing in terms of, networking or security or whatever it may be. Like, you just have to go through that pain, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. That's every time I think I understand a concept and then I go to try to actually do it at the command line, it never works the first time. And if it does, I am highly suspicious. Like, there's no way that worked right. So yeah, you need that you get a certain amount of muscle memory and just a deeper knowledge of how something actually works. So that's invaluable. And whether you take the certification or not, doesn't matter. You got to put in the keyboard time to get comfortable with it.